by licensed professionals. So all members of the association have to be dentists. All managers have to be dentists of the association. And the members are employees of the association. So that probably gives you some sort of tax advantage. So how do you form a corporation? You can try and do it yourself. There's tons of really low budget online services nowadays that you can just go online and pay someone a couple of $100s to form your entity for you. There's not a whole lot of thought that goes into that process about what type of entity is best for me and my dental practice. But you definitely do save on money. You end up with a very bare bones booklet of just bare bones stuff, so it's not customized for your practice at all. You could have a business consultant or an accountant set up your entity for you. You're going to get a little bit better product that way. Again, they can't draft legal contracts, so they're going to be using forms that other attorneys have drafted for them. It may be less costly than an attorney, it may not. And then finally, you can have the attorney set it up for you. Again, the benefit there is the confidentiality, the ability to give legal advice. And no matter how you set it up, I recommend that you have an attorney serve as your resident agent. That way, the attorney will get served with any summons and complaints that you might receive. You don't want process servicers coming to your dental practice trying to serve you with a complaint. And then the attorney can always advise you on the best way to handle any kind of lawsuit you might get served with. Oh, and that's it. Does anyone have any questions? I covered a lot. Yes, sir. Versus a normal? Well, it depends on what the purpose of your business is. If you're talking about your practice, then you want to make sure that you form a professional limited liability company. Well, as a dentist, you can't have a regular LLC. No, because you can't share your profits with non-dentists, right? We don't want, a snake oil salesman down the street financing a dental practice and getting a percentage of your profits. So you have to be really super careful for ethical reasons. And there's probably something in Joe, you would know, but I'm sure the dental board has prohibitions on that as well. But no, you absolutely have to do it with another dentist. If you're going to buy your building, you can form a regular LLC and then have the building have that LLC lease it to the practice, or you could maybe put your equipment into a separate type of entity. But the practice itself, where you're giving care to your patients, that absolutely has to be professional entity, either an LLC, a corporation, or an association. Those are your three choices, or a sole proprietorship. Yes. And it's a simple process, and I don't even charge you for it, just the filing fee. So we do it at the county level. Now, if you want to do a fancy trade name, trademark with the Secretary of State or nationwide, then that's a little more expensive to do. But it's a very simple process, and you really need to do that to protect your name, or someone else can start using it. Yeah.
If you work out of state, like in Bullhead or somewhere in Arizona, just across the line, you have a separate LLC for that state? State by state, or?
I wouldn't think so.
Because I don't know, she was just saying, like, in California, they're not allowed to have their own LLC.
Right. Yeah. So what happens is that, are you traveling back and forth then?
Well, I'm just saying, if I was to,
have a practice both. Okay. Well, what I would recommend is that you have one for each state. Because even if you formed your practice here, you could domesticate it in the other state. But you have to be super careful with professional entities, because in order to form one thing you have to do is, show that you're licensed in that state. So I think as far as the dentistry goes, that absolutely has to be separate. So you'll need two. But if you have any other type of business that's ancillary to that, that doesn't have to do with giving patients care, then you could probably just form one entity and then domesticate it in a different state. Anyone else? I try to give you like 3 years of law school in an hour. So I guess the takeaway should be that it's a little more complicated than just going to LegalZoom.com and saying, I want an entity. Talk to a lawyer first, and I'm always here to help. So thank you.
We covered a ton of material tonight. Don't forget, you're going to have, we'll get all these presentations out to you. I also give it to the videographers in the back so you can cut and paste what you need in. Next month, 8 March, we have Louis Gelman coming up. He's gonna also bring your lease with you if you have a current lease. He'll review that for you for free, which is about a $1,500 value. We have 2 presenters on the 8th of March. We have Louis Gelman, and we're going to have a representative from Managed Pay, which is an HR professional employment organization, and they'll be able to share with you the ins and outs of hiring and firing, things like an employee handbook, progressive discipline, OSHA, health, safety, workman's comp, needle stick injuries, all those other things that are going to rear its ugly head in your practice. So I'd like to thank all the presenters today. I'm sure they all have business cards or attachments or email addresses. You can reach out. Marilyn's was on every single slide. I've been working with Pam and Marilyn for 16 plus years. To be honest, this is the first time I've actually met Pam in person, which just goes to prove that which just goes to prove that you don't need to do a lot of face-to-face in today's environment. I talk to her on the phone. We email all the time. I can pick up the phone and call Marilyn if I have a question, and she's very quick to respond. If I send her an email or if I call her, unless they were using a new phone system and I got dropped a few times. But that happens. That's no problem. But the big takeaway from the day is, as Marilyn said, there's a lot of do-it-yourself stuff out there, and we all have relatives that want to help us. But you spent $400,000 becoming a dentist. Go ahead and spend the extra 25 to 30 grand to bring your professional team together for you. You're going to be in business for 20, 30, 50 years. You'll be able to afford them, and they'll keep you from making some really stupid moves. So thanks for coming. I know there are some students that have tests this week, next week. Study hard. Remember, all you got to do is pass. Nobody cares if you score 100, but we all want you to pass. So we'll see you. Next month, 8th of March. Oh, don't forget one other thing. On the 15th of March, we have an extra presentation for you guys that's included within the price. We have a specialist coming in to talk to us about social media and how to mine LinkedIn. And how that is now, everybody knows LinkedIn is now purchased by Microsoft, right? Does anybody know that? All right. So, there's a ton of data out there. And I think if you start, everybody was talking about demographic data mining and all that other stuff. LinkedIn, the average person that has a LinkedIn account is like an $85,000 a year breadwinner. That's probably a person you'd like to connect with for your practice. So we're going to have a speaker come in and do that. We're trying to also get something at the dental school during the same week, but we're having a little bit of hard time with that. But this will be free to you guys. It will be on the 15th right here. And it's being sponsored by Pact One, which is an office automation and data company here locally. That is my guys that run my backup and my network and all that other stuff. So they're good folks, and they'll be here to answer your questions as well. Any questions so far? Was this well worth it, you think? A lot of information, I know, but don't worry, you're going to get it all to take it home. And I'd like to thank Marilyn for spending a long day with us. Bob, Roy, thanks for sticking around. Pam, thanks for driving all the way up. I appreciate it. Roy, any housekeeping announcements?
Nope, we're good. We just appreciate you all coming and using our facility. That's what it's.
Well, thank you very much for your hospitality. We'll see you next month.